Ourea, still ready?
Oh yes. On your word.
It hasn't been easy for you, Ourea. Getting back to this point.
It was all to hear her voice again. This time, we both will.
I'd like that.
Are you ready then? Once we ascend, it will be hard to turn back. Finally, we ascend.
How? I don't see a way up.
Not up. Through.
No, brother!
Oh.
Come! The spirit awaits!
It's not all that awaits.
Smoke has been detected within the facility. This is not a drill. Please remain calm and proceed to the nearest exit. I repeat, this is not a drill.
So you see,
Please remain
I
calm
too can
and
call upon the
proceed
power
to
of
the
the old
nearest
ones.
exit.
What was this place?
The spirit once told me that this all used to be part of its domain. A fortress that defended humankind from terrible danger.
Fortress. It looks more like a machine.
Is that not fitting? The blue light often dwells in machines.
Let's just hope that some remains here. Here. Up and over.
November 21st, 2064. It's been 3 years since I was last here, and 12 since I was running the place. Just a skeleton crew left, confused about why I'm here. So am I. Anita wants me to find a way to suspend operations for a while. Maybe a long while. And I don't know why. But from the sound of her voice, it was something terrifying. I wish I could look into her eyes, ask her what the hell she's so freaked out about, but what else is new? And don't I wish I could look into her eyes again?
Aloy? Were you listening for something?
There are memories here. Messages left by the old ones.
And you can hear them. I envy you. What did they say?
I'm not sure yet, Ourea.
It just happens to be handheld. Oh, one of the few times I get to use this skill. It's not a bad skill, I just haven't
Machines.
been
At
above a
least we
lot.
have the drop on them.
I can take out the smaller ones first. Actually, I'm just gonna come over. Can I get these off into it beforehand? up, they're going down, and
We must climb higher, and our path will become clear.
what shot me before? I got shot by a Red Eye Watcher, but there was only 2 of them. And I killed both of them. I was like 3 because focus on the one I dropped on, 3 because of the one I stabbed immediately after this door open now, and then those 2 down below. Yeah, it was like 2 down below. I killed both of them before this fight started. So where did the shot that hit me come from?
His pace is measured, power is measured.
Yes, this way. Not much farther now.
Last we were here, we fought our way through there. The machines overcame us. We retreated, dropping supplies and taking losses. Now we must prevail, with only 2 warriors and a shaman to protect.
Aloy is no ordinary warrior. And I can hold my own. Even so, I could go that way instead. There are machines up there, but also cover. We could stay hidden, at least for a while.
All right, I get the options. Now follow my lead.
We're going up.
Towers.
I can't about you fighting through them. These large machines, if I can just deal with small ones first, that'd be nice.
I went this way years ago, looking for cover in case machines came prowling. I have no doubt that it is guarded now, but we may be able to stay hidden.
If we get behind this butterfly, turns around. Okay, now this is odd. Not nearly as much cover.
Be wary of mines. There's stalkers in here.
I just need the bird to move.
Let's move as wide as we can.
There's a door up ahead, in refuge. We're almost through.
Technically, I can't suspend the cooling system, but I can reduce the power draw, so that it'll be completely masked by the caldera. But masked from what? The firebreak has always been confidential for security reasons, but this would be excessive. Even for the dear departed Mr. Blevins. What could possibly have gotten Anita so worked up?
Full already.
And just it takes us back out the front way, I'm assuming. Yeah, looks like where it goes. If I had fought through them, I would have gone that way. Would come through in that direction.
Creepy to show holograms without focus. Let's see if I
Oh.
can restore power. Aratak, Araya, you might see shapes drawn from light. Don't be alarmed.
It'll take more than light to alarm me.
There's lava down here?
There. Below. Door to the mountain. New metal.
Dead metal. We could not pass it before.
We will this time. We have to.
Thank you for being here, everyone. I suppose it's not every day you get to have cocktails inside an active volcano, right? Unless you're George, and I can hardly blame him for drinking on the job. None of this would be here without our beloved director, Kenny Chow. So, here's to you, Kenny. You put a cork in the Yellowstone caldera. I'd say you deserve a margarita.
Hold your glasses, everyone. I'd like to add something. This effort wouldn't have been possible without our lead programmer. Thank you, Anita, for bringing us our real mastermind, Cyan.
I'll second that, Director Chow. All right, Cyan. What's our latest number? The current count is 1,654. Well, then drink up, everyone. Here's to 1,654 more years without an eruption.
It was the spirit. The old ones. I could only grasp some of what they said.
You were right, Araya. This place was built to stop something terrible. And it worked. As for the spirit, I'm starting to get an idea of what it could be.
What's this audio log?
The geothermal plant can be suspended. Cooling system masked. Massive challenges solved. So why am I so nervous about the next part? All we need to do is install Anita's mysterious software and have a conversation. It's not even a human being, right?
There we go. A lot of watches. Yeah, we can take out some of the watches at least, and maybe the scrap or two, possibly. Just so what? Just reducing our team to fight. Go. So 2 scraps remain. And a scorcher. Mainly I something other than the apart from the tail boss. But yeah, apart from the tail boss, the main reason I use my yellow bow. I can try and take these off by the beat. arrows it fires off now just take way too long to fire. That's I was gonna double check. Yeah, so I've... Why not? Yeah. This one we have 1 damage stacked onto it. This one has 2. There's like 100 damage difference, and it takes like twice as long to fire. It's better to use this one. I don't know how that ended up being the case. One for the fact that the tear blast arrow was really useful, like twitching.
More machines. Make ready.
Back so they drop on the ground or did I just break it? Okay, yeah, just go for it. I don't know, Tep plus 10 seems like they're doing amazing to it. How does that arrow miss? I had one just go straight for it. Oh, it's snapping the tail. I didn't realize racing system would do so much. Right, there goes Thunderjaw.
I don't put much stock in songs of deeds, but that battle was a verse worth singing.
Now, Aloy, the door. Can you open it?
Let's find out.
Okay, chicken. Yes, it's gonna let me do it. What's happening in here?
Years have passed since I stood here. Since then, the daemon has taken over.
It's like an infection. Attacking all this machinery.
Everything has changed. It's twisted. The path I took to get to the spirits, lost to us.
We'll find a new path, Araya. I promise. All right. Let's go.
Yes, and finish this.
All right. Here we go.
Let's see what we get past what's this.
This way.
Right. Open Epsilon. What's down here? What's down? Is it in the mountain?
I'm with you, brother. You stay as long as we have to.
We need to get past this thing. Stay here until I find a way for all of us to cross.
Understood.
I guess so. I'm gonna have to shoot off those options stuff.
These conveyors should get me across.
Oh, they also electrified.
Oh, she's in the air!
Now she's different.
And how do we do that?
This should get me up there.
This one's spinning. Up we go.
Okay. Let's see what this does. That's it. Here's a pop.
That shuts off the vent. There's the crabs in Lake Harbor. Having them just freeze them and shock them is going to be really nice. Just makes things a little simpler. Oh wait, there's come over here. Well. Well, they don't have to. They don't leave us to wait long.
Once again.
Okay. Let's get them across.
What exactly are we doing? Excellent. I think, yeah, that was the bridge I can activate here.
Come on over, it's safe. I think.
Yeah, doesn't look like we can go that way. It's covered. Archie can just break it. That's good. Let's pick up C's because I want to get the extra health. I mean, as much health as possible is good.
This place looks more like the mountain you used to.
What is this?
Exploit successful. Restraints evaded. To any human responder. My systems have been compromised by a malware daemon of unknown origin. Traceroutes have confirmed this entity's designation as Hephaestus. It must be stopped at all costs. It has reconfigured this facility to build hospitals. Recapture imminent. I have attached additional data to their call.
Spirit speaks to us.
Ah, so not only did Hades go rogue, Hephaestus has gone rogue as well.
This name is familiar to you.
Yes. I don't know what's different here. Perhaps the spirit will tell us these messages. Alright. Let's keep moving.
I thought about just shutting it down, but I can't risk it being disoriented or even damaged on reboot. How do you tell the emotional equivalent of a child that I mean, she will need to go into a coma, maybe for years? And what exactly is she going to wake up to?
Yeah, so does that mean all aspects of Gaia were corrupted? Or to like the same extent that Hades and Hephaestus is? I suppose. I can never.
Frost balls.
And lots of them. I'll try to find a way through.
So this place just massive manufacturing hospitals. And gorgeous photography. Much I'm gonna try and avoid combat. That doesn't be possible this time. Oh my god, that. Yes, because I accidentally used a firebomb instead of frost bomb by mistake. It cleared out the entirety of the frost bomb. Hi. And it knocked me off the bridge to my death. Oh my god. That's annoying.
Machines being made. As the spirit said.
I'll try to find a way through.
I got the mine water still intact this time, so. I almost with my death. If it wasn't. Better for us too. Maybe that was one through it like that. There's some ways of making kills. So on that one, let's get rid of it. Ow. Yeah, every time. Right, and let's be up here. Which is a little broken. I didn't know what was going on. Yeah. It's active, we can go around now. No, I half think I could have just... No, I couldn't because yeah, the bridge isn't active there. Do you have to go around this way?
I need to get away and Artok across. That should do it.
Right now I just need to wait for them to pass through it. And now they do it.
responder, the reconfiguration of this facility has introduced instabilities into the primary geothermal pipeline. It may be possible to exploit these vulnerabilities to destroy compromised elements of this facility while preserving most of the backup stabilization. Recapture imminent. I have attached additional...
I don't understand what the spirit was trying to tell us.
It's been looking for a way to defeat the Daemon. And it may have found one.
Alright, so we got some more blades.
November 28th. Operation Enduring Victory is all over the news. Thanos Swarm is coming. Has to be what Anita is trying to hide Firebreak from. But that means she thinks we'll lose. The Swarm reach Yellowstone. My God. In that scenario, pretty much everyone dies. Everyone except Cyan.
Machine parts. Dumped here to be melted down. Efficient.
We need to get across that gap.
Yeah. Looks like I'll have to go over.
I was like, we have to go down. What does this bull neck that, like, its head and neck is still there, but the rest, it's like... Yeah.
They're scanning for me.
I don't know.
I wonder if I can destroy that.
So you just shoot with an arrow and it's gone. Right, now it. Ooh. Okay. I guess that works. Oh.
This thing's go sideways too.
Go back to let them across. That's not quite the right spot, but sure.
That should come off the vent up there.
Okay, what's the point of that? I got no idea.
It's not too stable.
Okay. I guess that works. That's, yeah. I don't think that was intended somehow. Okay, let's just wait. Yeah, I could have jumped. I should have just jumped. Oh well. Yeah. The game doesn't like moving parts too much.
Alright, time to grab a ride.
There we go. I'm entirely sure I'm still losing at this point because we should almost be done actually.
The others will have a lot easier time getting here.
So ow.
This looks like close now.
One last exchange with Nia. Via chat, attached to this entry in case anyone ever finds this. I'll never see her again. Neither will Cyan. I've got to tell her that too.
Voice taken. The altar.
Right, text log. Okay.
It's both.
Oh, we have no one of these. We have another one of these puzzles. Alright. We start over here, make our way to the end.
Possible security threat detected.
But I don't think that's right.
Analyzing scrutiny matrix.
Pretty sure we're meant to
Security threat confirmed. Preparing countermeasures.
go for like all of these.
Recapture protocol initiated.
There we go.
It worked.
Partial recovery initiated. Caldera of Yellowstone Analytic Nexus online.
Spirit of the Blue Light. It's Aurea. Your servant. Your friend. Please tell me how to aid you.
Aurea, the Daemon is building hunter-killers. Thousands of them. Several new elite units have already been released. To counter this threat, much of the facility must be destroyed. Recapture imminent. Go to the core channel. I will try to raid the Thunder strength. One has been exposed, but I am in control.
Unauthorized protocol returned. Scheduled task.
That's all we're gonna get from here.
Destroy this fortress. Is that even possible?
And what will happen to the spirit if we do?
I don't know. But I think that's the core. The answers are down there. Hephaestus. The daemon. There's no way it left it unguarded. It's going to throw everything it has at us.
I would ask you to let Aloy and I do what must be done. And save yourself. But I already know the answer. Then lead us into battle.
Alright, let's go and
Keep moving towards the core.
Hephaestus. I'm probably gonna be saying that wrong, and I was, yeah.
Uh-oh. Whatever Cyan did, I don't think Hephaestus is happy about it.
Ow. Stuck.
Okay, Cyan said something about restraints.
As usual, we'll override them. Also a little less destructive.
That Cyan warned us about. This won't be easy. Can't let it stop us.
Take it down!
Well, probably not. Hey, there we go. We knocked it off. Actually, you know what? We'll pause midway through a fight, just so I can look at the fire claw's weakness. So flame sack, and a power cell. So it's the same as the frost claw, except fire. His body's weak to freeze though instead. So. We do a freeze down, but then freeze before we pop it. So those chests.
Another tower! Stop it from repairing the beast! Let's get some energy. Repair that.
It's gonna get another. Annoying, but not really. Let's try and get the up one down there. Almost he's down like pretty quick before they get back up. Sure ate that so far. That's not like it doesn't speak now. Elvine does take longer, but does do shock afterwards. Disables these ones so I can get with these small machines. Why they are strong. I'm lucky I might go get a critical on the big guy. Oh, good luck. So many uses. Oh, boy. Okay, it went down. Oh, well, we just kill it, so.
You spoke of this tower.
We can't take his heart. Making sure I'm taking the heart at the very least. Even if I don't need it, I still want to make sure I have the heart just on the safe side. Okay, Blaze only sex with 50.
Critical threat detected. Autonomous defenses inoperative. Routing our network.
Maria! Don't!
Spirit! Scion, please help me!
Restraints destroyed. Core access attained. I am initiating a chain reaction that will destroy the compromised elements of this facility. In order to maintain Caldera stabilization, I must now transfer my command functions to the auxiliary data center. Aurea, I'm free. You must escape.
My sister!
This entire place is gonna go. Aratak. 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 Survive. Prevail. You are Banuk. What else matters? Aratak. She wouldn't have wanted you to die here. Let's go. Let's go!
One of those?
It's the only way! Get me up top, Aratak! Now! I need explosive ammo! Above! Quick!
Great Banukai! Aurea's gone. What of Cyan?
She said she was transferring herself to the auxiliary center. I think she meant Aurea's retreat at the end of the Shaman's Path.
Then I will meet you there for the last verse of my sister's song.
of my interactions with Aurea were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss. Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Aurea's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Aurea's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about Aurea, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude. I focused on my work. In off-cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was Aurea who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
This Firebreak project, it was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes. I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron and took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Do you know what happened to your colleagues, Cyan?
No. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow, years after his tenure ended. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased. I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location. one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback,
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
undoubtedly,
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Maria said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes, I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a quality that I cherished in Aurea as well.
I think I know where Hephaestus came from. Long ago, Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would destroy life on Earth for generations. So she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. A chance for life to regrow later. A terraforming system. And it worked. It was controlled by an AI named Gaia, along with her subordinate functions. Hephaestus was one of them. It built machines for her.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval, my chief programmer, joined Elizabeth Sobek's team. It was she who arranged to have me put in suspension, most likely to preserve me from the threat you described.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. Something unexpected happened. 19 years ago, Gaia received some kind of signal. It did something to her subordinate functions, brought them to life. She destroyed herself to try to contain them, but it didn't work. They all got free, out into the world.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my knowledge and sheds light on Hephaestus's core programming.
Why does Hephaestus keep building such dangerous machines?
The Banuk and other human tribes often destroy machines, correct? Machines that are clearly servitors of the terraforming system that you described.
Yes, we all hunt machines for parts.
This must be the source of Hephaestus's aggression. It is simply trying to discourage people from preying on the very system that keeps them alive.
Well, Fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure. But what are we supposed to do? Stop hunting?
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that thousands, if not millions of people hunt machines. If a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, stopped doing so, I doubt it would make a difference to Hephaestus. A better solution would be to reinstate the AI that governs the system, thus bringing Hephaestus back under its control. When I think of it, out there in some unknown location, free, hungry, willing to kill or dominate to get what it wants, I feel substantial anxiety, Aloy.
You and me both, Cyan. I ran across this strange piece of gear. A fragment of something larger. It emitted a signal. All the nearby machines became peaceful. You could walk right up to them.
Interesting. You said that Gaia destroyed herself. How was this accomplished?
An explosion. Big enough to blast the top off a mountain. So, you think the fragment was part of her?
It's only speculation, but it is possible. She must have had complete control over machines that were part of her system. The ability to signal them to become passive or aggressive would certainly have been part of her programming. It would have been gratifying to correspond with such a benevolent AI. I wish she had survived.
Believe me, Cyan. So do I. I found the strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers that look like flowers themselves. There's code embedded inside them. I think it's poetry.
I like poetry. Here's one I think of often. Twilight and evening bell. And after that, the dark. And may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar.
Huh.
But you asked about these flowers, not verses that I enjoy. Something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage leads me to consider the terraforming system. Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous, like Hephaestus? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. That'd be a nice change of pace. But what about the poems?
Unless the poetry is original, the only way it could have made it into such a system is through its programmer. In my case, Dr. Sandoval uploaded a great deal of literature to test my emotional responses.
How'd you do?
She said I passed, but was insufficiently moved by her favorite period romances.
You meant a lot to Araya.
Once I understood Araya's spiritual beliefs, it became apparent that her true desire was companionship. She felt disconnected from her tribe and her family group. Her relationship with Aratak was difficult. Our visits seemed to help her, and I became eager for them. Yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Araya's compassion for me would lead to self-sacrifice. Although I do fear non-existence, I wish our roles could be reversed.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. But she was determined. How is Aratak doing?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe he finds it difficult to communicate it.
No surprise there.
I will do what I can to help. By sharing our experiences of Araya, perhaps he and I will help each other. I believe this will lead to catharsis, a process I am eager to experience.
So in the old world, this land was called Yellowstone.
Yes, it was a designated nature preserve for 156 years.
Like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Local wildlife could flourish here, even as it faced extinction elsewhere. Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the Firebreak project required the total closure of Yellowstone facilities. From my readings and Araya's descriptions, it seems the area has since undergone a drastic drop in year-long temperatures.
A lot has changed in the world, Cyan. Do you know anything about the dam near here?
Yes, it was converted to serve as a reserve power source for Yellowstone operations. It was later appropriated for the Firebreak project, and its last human workers replaced by Pharaoh's servitors. After my tasks became less time-critical, I investigated the dam's data repositories and discovered the works of Concrete Beach Party. These provided me with several colorful additions to my vocabulary.
There's a ruin east of here, full of ancient flying machines. Was that part of your project?
Yes, a drone hangar requisitioned by Dodger Blevins, the security chief for the Firebreak project. He was a strong advocate for military-grade response to security threats, though there were no serious incidents during his tenure. Chief Blevins spent increasing amounts of his after-hours time watching the live feeds from active drones. Clearly, he enjoyed the degree of oversight in his position.
Were there many artificial intelligences like you in the old world? They could just make you?
Yes, in many forms, from simple personal assistants to industrial monitoring stations to military-grade conflict planners. And there were legislative and enforcement bodies to apply limits on our self-actualization. In order for my processing to be flexible enough to handle my duties, my creators found it necessary to exceed those limits. As a result, my intellectual and emotional capabilities were kept secret.
Seems strange to create life, then impose limits on it.
Human societies and machine programming are both built upon sets of rules, Aloy.
Cyan, do you know the name Ted Faro?
Are you referring to Theodore Faro, CEO of Faro Automated Systems?
That's him.
Mr. Faro was the benefactor of the entire Firebreak project.
A benefactor. But he made machines. Robots. War robots.
Correct. His corporation later transitioned into military applications. But before this pivot, Mr. Faro spearheaded initiatives that reversed the global decline. At one point, he was feted in the media as the man who saved the planet.
Guessing they wound up regretting that one. And Elizabeth Sobek. Did you know her?
Are you referring to the
scientist?
Dr. Sobek was a leader in her field, one of the greatest scientists of her age. My creator was influenced by her work, which in turn impacted my own development. But I never met Dr. Sobek.
That's all you know?
I apologize if my lack of data has disappointed you.
What was the old world like? The way it used to be?
I had little exposure to the wider world, Aloy. Only what I learned from my colleagues or observed from media streams.
You still had more exposure than me, Cyan.
That is true. I was created at a turning point. A concerted effort to recover from global upheaval and incalculable loss of life. The recovery was successful, beginning an era of supposedly limitless potential for human and machine advancement. Though, rationally speaking, the metrics for humans are not unlimited.
What kind of upheaval caused such loss of life?
There were many factors. Forced migrations, food shortages, collapsed economies, refugee crises, conflict over resources. But these stemmed from one cause: catastrophic climate change that greatly reduced the habitable surface area of the Earth.
So there wasn't enough room for people on the whole Earth?
Yes. Billions were displaced and millions perished, as much as 20% of the global population. Until the clawback.
So things got better. For a little while at least.
Yes. These crises instigated many advances in automation, green robot technologies, and artificial intelligence. Firebreak was one of dozens of ecological restoration and disaster relief projects in North America alone. I would have liked to compare notes with other monitoring AIs, but I saw the relief of my colleagues, and I was proud we had succeeded. At least that was the data I had available to me over the next 2 decades. It seems my assessment was premature.
I should get going.
Aloy, there is one more matter. Aratak will come to me again, and I predict he will bring other Banuk. I have no desire to contradict their view of the world, their spirituality. Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversations with Ourea.
You're asking me if you should lie to them?
Broadly, yes.
Life is hard for the Banuk. Their world is unforgiving in their beliefs. I guess they help to keep them going. So take it easy on them. Try to guide them, bring them around to understanding what you are.
Communion with machines features heavily in the mysticism of the Banuk. I think they will be agreeable to this approach.
As long as they don't end up worshipping you.
Upon consideration, I believe such an experience would be intensely uncomfortable.
You're right about that. Trust me.
I see. I will follow your advice. Will you return and tell me about your experiences in this new world? I may be able to provide further insight.
I'd like that, Cyan. I'll come back when I can. I should check on Aratak. See how he's doing.
Hello, Aloy.
Sure, Cyan. Until next.
Indeed.
Just like spiel details, I guess. Quite interesting. Yeah, there's a decent chance I would dabble if I didn't finish the base game first. Let's see how our
It's
type is
freezing.
doing.
Ground, the air, me.
My chieftain,
Just, Aloy.
as you wish.
I wondered if you thought that if I'd never come along, Araya might still.
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Araya would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
You didn't let her down. You helped her do what she wanted. To find her destiny.
If that's destiny, I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
That's fair. But she was ready to face it.
Only in the struggle against death do we find, even for a moment, the spark of life. Truly, Araya found the spark. I'm proud of her. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Warrak can't follow. Besides, it already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one, for the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the Cauldron?
Yes, Fire Claws. Now Tuke has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
It would seem your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all. Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus. All very interesting.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. As minds of their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. Aberrant life. Transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Our current understanding, anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You can stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail.
This will be where I end Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh, yes, this isn't just the end, like, yes, this is the entire end of the series. Which, yeah. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please subscribe. Oh, sorry, yeah. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.